Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWUS. College basketball Thursday night. Got a Big Ten matchup. Got some Pac-12 games. I'm actually recording this as the games are still going on Wednesday, so I can't tell you how we did Wednesday night. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, we had a good one. So I think I'm going to go. I got 4 games lined up to go through. Whatever I don't get through, we'll go through on the live show tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Let's go.
Welcome to the SWUS. The SWUS. SWUS. Hey, get the SWUS.
We're starting off in the Big Ten. Got Iowa on the road at Penn State here. Penn State catching a 1.5 at home in the total sitting at 162.5. Betting trends on the Iowa side. Hawkeyes are 4-8 against the spread after a win. Just 4-7 against the spread in Big Ten play. Just 3-4 against the spread as the road team. So not great looking trends there for Iowa. On the Penn State side, 7-4 against the spread in Big Ten play this year. Just 5-6 against the spread at home though. They are 3-1 against the spread with the rest disadvantage this year. If we take a look at the last 5 games here for both these teams, Iowa just 2-3 in the last 5, 1-1 on the road. Penn State 3-2 in the last 5, 1-1 at home. But if you look at the strength of schedule, Penn State's sitting at 44th in the last 5, where Iowa's back at 88th. So we'll start out by looking at the Iowa offense against Penn State's defense. Here are the numbers from the last 5 games. At first glance, it looks like a slight edge to Penn State's defense, 152nd to 207th in efficient field goal percentage. But Iowa with some better numbers in the rebounding and turnover departments. And if we go over to the shot chart, we can see that Iowa's taking a lot of mid-range shots. Look at the paint and mid-range frequency. 53rd in the paint, 11th from mid-range. Those happen to be 2 of the weakest defensive spots for Penn State. Defensive efficiency in those 2 zones, 134th and 353rd. So even though the numbers don't look great for Iowa's offense recently, I actually think this is a sneaky good spot for the Hawkeyes offense. Here's the problem. Let's pull up their shooting splits home and away. It's pretty bad. 43rd in efficient field goal percentage at home, but on the road, Iowa's back at 209th. So I like the matchup for Iowa's offense, but 209th in efficient field goal percentage on the road, that's a tough look. When we flip it over to the other side of the court, no question the edge goes to Penn State's offense. Efficient field goal percentage, offensive rebounding rate, turnover rate, all advantage Penn State offense. Andy literally wrote this in the notes. He says, this Iowa defense is an abomination to basketball. He wrote those exact words in the notes he gave me. When we pull up the shot charts from the last 5 games, you can see Penn State's been attacking the rim a lot. 70th in shot frequency at the rim in the last 5. They're not really hitting them, just 304th in field goal percentage in those shots. But the point is they're attacking the basket a lot. The reason that's important, Iowa's been terrible protecting the rim in the last 5, 284th and 264th. As far as betting this game, I can definitely see the angle. I can see why some people are taking Iowa in this spot. But to me, you got a defense that's struggling, going on the road against the Penn State offense that's going to be attacking the basket. I'm taking the home team, man. Penn State plus 1.5 next game. Pac-12 up next. We got Arizona on the road at Utah. Utes catching 5.5 points at home, and the total sitting at 160.5. Betting trends on the Arizona side. 5-6 against the spread in Pac-12 play. They are 9-7 against the spread after a win. 3-3 against the spread in road games this year. On the Utah side, 1-0 against the spread as home dog, so they've covered the only time they were home underdog this year. 8-4 against the spread at home for Utah. Just 4-7 against the spread in conference play, though. When we take a look at the last 5 games from these 2 teams, Utah's 3-2, but they're a perfect 3-0 at home, 0-2 on the road. Meanwhile, Arizona's 4-1, 3-0 at home, but 1-1 in their 2 road games. So let's match these 2 teams up on the court, and we'll start with Arizona's offense. They have a huge edge in this game. Utah's defense has underperformed, to put it delicately. You can see efficient field goal percentage, huge rebounding edge for Arizona. They also have the turnover edge. I mean, this is a clear mismatch on this side of the court. But that being said, one thing Utah has done a pretty good job at, protecting the basket. Look at Utah's defensive numbers at the rim, 226th in frequency, 59th in defensive efficiency at the rim. That happens to be where Arizona takes a majority of their shots, 23rd in shot frequency at the basket. So Arizona's offense is way better than Utah's defense, but they attack the basket a lot, and that's the strength for Utah. When we flip it over to the other side of the court, you'd have to say Arizona has the edge on this side as well, but it's not that crazy. I mean, they have the edge in the rebounding department and turnover department, but look at efficient field goal percentage in the last 5 games. Arizona 221st, Utah 117th. That's the most important category. I mean, that's really what basketball's about, making shots. And I do see an angle here for Utah's offense to give Arizona some problems. They got to get to the rim The problem is they haven't really been doing that much. Shot frequency at the rim and in the paint the last 5 games, 192nd and 160th. So Utah not really attacking the interior much, but look at their efficiency numbers when they do attack. 47th and 77th. So they're converting at a high rate when they do attack the rim. The reason I brought these shot zones up, Arizona just 218th in the paint, 117th at the basket. As far as betting this game, I'm fading Arizona in this spot, man. I like the matchup for Utah. Taking the 5.5. I might even take the money line. I think they're live. Utah plus 5.5 next game. Arizona State on the road at Colorado. Some more Pac-12 action here. Colorado laying 12.5 points at home. The total sitting at 149.5. Betting trends on the Arizona State side. Sun Devils just 2-4 against the spread on the road this year. 5-6 against the spread in conference play. Just 8-14 against the spread overall in the season. On the Colorado side, Buffs are just 4-7 against the spread in Pac-12 play, but they are 9-3 against the spread at home this year, and they're 10-7 against the spread as favorites. If we take a look at the last 5 games, Arizona State just 1-4. 0-2 in their 2 road games. Colorado's 3-2, 2-0 at home. And if you look at the strength of schedule, Colorado's doing that with a much stronger schedule, 56th compared to 190th for Arizona State. So let's match these 2 teams up on the court. And I guess we'll start with Arizona State's offense, which just doesn't exist recently. On the last 5 games, Arizona State 334th in efficient field goal percentage, 315th in offensive rebounding. I mean, this is terrible. This offense has been truly non-existent. Colorado's defense, not that it's been anything special, but they have the clear advantage on this side of the court. But we do have to bring up the shot charts and point out that if Arizona State can get to the rim, they might actually be able to give Colorado problems. I know that sounds crazy, but look at Arizona State's offensive numbers at the rim here. 133rd, 147th. Colorado defensively, 310th and 231st. Now keep in mind, these are from the last 5 games, and Colorado's played a stronger schedule, but still 231st in defensive efficiency. On the other side of the court, we got Colorado's offense against Arizona State's defense, and I mean, shocker, Colorado's got the edge on this side as well. 127th to 318th in efficient field goal percentage. Arizona State might be able to force some turnovers here, 34th to 139th, but I mean, there's really not many angles for Arizona State in this game. That's one of them. One thing we have to mention about the Buffs here, because this game's at home, look at the Colorado shooting numbers at home this year. 1st in field goal percentage, 1st in 3-point percentage, 4th in points per game. Colorado's offense at home has been electric so far this season. And by taking a look at these shot charts, it looks like Colorado doesn't force bad shots. What I mean by that, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend I've watched every Colorado basketball game, but look at the 3-point frequency in comparison to the efficiency numbers. 326th above the break, 287th from the corner. The efficiency numbers, 77th and 86th. So it seems like they're only taking threes when they're open, and it's resulting in very efficient shooting. Where Colorado takes a majority of their shots is at the rim. They're 18th in shot frequency at the rim in the last 5 games. Haven't been crazy efficient scoring in that time span, but like I mentioned, they played an insanely strong schedule. Meanwhile, Arizona State, against an easy schedule, still struggling to protect the basket, 272nd and 219th. I mean, to be honest, I really don't know what to do here. I mean, Arizona State just has no offense. I guess you could find an angle for Arizona State if you think they can get to the rim, but I don't know if there's enough there. I guess I'd say Colorado minus 12.5 for pass. I kind of want to see what other people's opinions are before I bet this one. But based on the notes I have here, I'd say Colorado minus 12.5 for pass next game. How about some more Pac-12? Washington on the road at Oregon. Oregon laying 5.5 points here, and the total sitting at 155.5. Betting trends on the Huskies side. Washington 3-1 against the spread as road dogs this year. 6-3 against the spread coming off a loss. 5-6 against the spread in conference play. On the Ducks side, Oregon a perfect 6-0 against the spread coming off a loss. They're also 7-4 against the spread at home. 6-5 against the spread in conference play. If we take a look at the last 5 games for both these teams, kind of similar. Both these teams are 2-3 in their last 5, and neither has played a particularly strong schedule. Oregon strength of schedule 119th, Washington 90th. So let's match these 2 teams up on the court. Washington actually has the edge on offense here, 24th in efficient field goal percentage in their last 5 compared to 165th for Oregon. Oregon has the rebounding edge, but Washington also has the turnover edge. So overall, Washington's offense, a little bit of an advantage here. Also, if we pull up the shot charts, might be a couple spots Washington can score points here. At the rim and the long mid-range shot, Washington efficiency numbers from those 2 zones, 33rd and 10th. Oregon defensively in those 2 zones, 263rd and 121st. So as of right now, you might be like, yo, this is a sneaky spot to bet Washington. Maybe I'll take the money line. Hold up, because now we flip it over to the other side of the court, and this is where things get bad. net for Washington. On the last 5 games, Washington's defense 330th in efficient field goal percentage. They've been getting cooked. Oregon's offense not doing anything special, but still the huge edge on this side of the ball over a really bad Washington defense. And if we pull up the shot charts, I mean, Oregon should just light Washington up from outside here, above the break, corner 3, everywhere on the perimeter. Oregon should light them up. Washington's defense against the above the break 3, 221st, against the corner 3, 357th. And we're talking about an Oregon offense that's been making their outside shots at home. In the last 5 Oregon home games, they're shooting 38.7% from 3. That's 13th best in the country. I know taking the points with Washington on the road has been a sneaky little profitable spot this year, but Oregon's about to have a 3-point party on these people. Give me the Ducks. Oregon minus 5.5. Like I said earlier, live show at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to go through 10 or 11 games, college basketball, and then the NBA live show is at 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. If you want my top bets for all sports parlays of the day, or you want to join our Discord, head over to KyleKirms.com. The information's right there on the homepage. We're having a pretty solid week. Let's keep it going. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.